Good morning, everyone. Leah Dixon here from Port Coquitlam, British Columbia. I am live. This is my regular Wednesday morning time, although last week I had to skip it. I just had too much work to do on report cards. So most of the time, this is a card class to go. During the month of December, probably won't be, but I will always be live to show you new cards, show you new tips and tricks and everything. And today I wanted to share with you some sending cheer quick cards. So these are cards that you can make just kind of like a whole bunch of them all at once. Because I don't know if you're like me, but I'm sending out my Christmas cards this week. And as I've started to write in them, I've realized I do not have enough Christmas cards for the people I want to share them with. So I need a super quick way to be able to create some more cards and get those sent out. Hopefully by the end of today, I'll have all my Christmas cards sent out. But I have to make some more because I've almost run out. So I'm going to switch over to my desktop. I'm going to show you the stamp set and dies that I'm working with, and then I'm going to show you the way to make a whole bunch of Christmas cards really, really quickly. All right, here we go. Excellent. All right, so I am using the Sending Cheer stamp set and dies. These ones are retiring, which is too bad because they just came out this year, and they are so adorable. And one of the reasons, aside from the fact that they're cute and going to make really great cards, I wanted to share this with you because they're currently on sale. So the bundle price is actually $72.25, but right now if you buy them separately, the dies are $28.80. The stamp is $19.80, and so together it comes to $48.60. So that's like, I don't know, 40% off, I think. So it's a really big savings. So definitely check these out. And I'm going to move them out of the way and get started showing you guys how to do a ton of cards really, really fast. So what I have got going is just a whole bunch of basic white card bases. So all three of my cards are going to use basic white card bases. This is fast for me because when I get my thick basic white cardstock, I literally just take the whole pack, I score it, and I cut it. And I cut it two ways. I make like your standard card and I cut the long cards. And so I just have stacks of these sitting beside my desk. So right there, time saver, my card bases are already cut for me. Then I took a whole bunch of designer series paper, and for all three cards today, I am using the A Walk in the Forest 12 by 12 designer series paper. So this is the paper that actually Stampin' Up! Is using as their give back paper. So a portion of the proceeds of this gets donated. So I love that fact, but I also love the designs. They're just super pretty, Christmassy. They've got that little bear in there if you've got the bear punch, and they're fabulous, fabulous pieces of designer series paper. So to make a bunch of cards quickly, you're going to grab whatever pattern you'd like. So let's see, I've got the stripes for this one. So I grabbed my striped paper. I went over to my cutter and I literally cut it at I cut this one at 3, 6, and 9, and then cut those into 3 4-inch pieces. So one piece of designer series paper, I'm getting DSP for 12 cards. So right there, again, another time saver. So I picked 3 different patterns, and I did that. And actually, this DSP is so thin, you can cut all 3 at once, so another time saver. Then I went and got coordinating cardstock. So for my cards, I'm just using Cherry Cobbler and Pretty Peacock today. And I cut those into 3 1/4 by 4 1/4 pieces so that they're going to make nice little mats for my designer series paper. Oh, hi, Jacqueline. So with that done, we're going to take those 2 pieces and we're going to glue our DSP to our cardstock to our card base. So like, it doesn't get much easier than that. Once you've got your bits cut for this, you can sit down with a cup of tea, put on a show, and just start gluing. There's no real thinking involved here. So these are going to go by so quick. You can put on a Christmas movie or Christmas music and just glue. All right. So this part's always the hard part for me, getting it lined up. There we go. That's pretty centered. Okay, so once you've got that done, we're going to get onto our stamping part of our card. And I am actually going to be using the little gingerbread man for this one. You actually don't need anything too fancy. I'm using up scraps that have been sitting around on my table as I've done other things. I've got quite the collection of scraps going. I'm going to grab my little gingerbread man and grab my pecan pie. You can use whatever brown you'd like. I really like the warmth in the pecan pie. Plus it's a newer ink pad, so it's nice and juicy. Okie dokie. So we have our little gingerbread man stamped. Now, if you're making 12 of these, go stamp 12. Have a good time. Just stamp, stamp, stamp. And then we're going to grab our ink for our face. And I'm using black. Now, you could get a little fancier here. You could use Versamark and emboss the face in white so that it's like white icing like you would normally have on a cookie. But we're going real simple and fast today because I need a lot of these. I sold far more than I thought I would at craft fairs, and I don't have enough left for my family and friends. So did the little face in black just for the sake of being speedy. And now I'm going to cut him out. So grab my plates, throw him on here, grab the die because they have dies, no fussy cutting, don't have time for that. And I am going to put that around him. It lines up pretty easily. Oops, there we go. Roll that through. Keep rolling. There we go. Roll that through. Grab him. Now, you're going to notice something really cool about him. And this is awesome if you still haven't done your wrapping either, which I haven't, is he has a little tag thing on the top. So I can also make a bunch of these. Stamp my little to and from. Where is it? There's a little to and from that comes in this stamp set. Stamp a little to and from on the back of them. And voila, I've got little gift tags ready to go. That simple. Okay, now you could totally zhuzh these up. Grab some like sparkly red and cut out the little hearts and stuff. There's a die for that. And do all sorts of fun, fancy things. But because I'm using this guy on a card front, I'm actually going to take my paper snips and say goodbye to that little hook. So that's gone. Now he's just an adorable gingerbread man to put on a card front. So before I put him down, I am going to grab a circle. This is a Stylish Shapes die, the third largest circle. And just like my cardstock, I'm cruel. When my kids want money, I'm like, sure, you can have some. Go do some die cutting for me. And I send them off to die cut mostly circles and banners out of white paper. It's a job that's simple for them to do. And then I have ready to go circles. So I'm going to grab one of my ready to go circles. It's going to end up on here. But first of all, I'm going to stamp the words sending cheer onto here. And I'm going to use my cherry cobbler ink to do that. So there we go, sending cheer, just like that. And now we're ready to attach this. Now, I am feeling a little bit fancy. We could 100% just attach these to our card front and call it a day. It's an adorable little card. But I'm not really willing to do that simple of a card today. I do put some time into my fast cards. So I actually realized I didn't bring it over. I need a piece of cherry cobbler. And this is great for using up scraps. I don't know if you guys are like me, but I have tons and tons of scraps, and this is the kind of project that lets us use them up. I am going to grab the actually I think there's 3 little and 2 big hearts in this die set. I'm going to grab all the hearts. All the hearts. Yeah, there's 5 hearts in here. I am grabbing all the hearts and die cutting them right now. And I love that the 3 little ones for his buttons are 1 die. They will come out separate, but they're 1 die when you go to put them into your machine. So nice. Here we go. We're going to run these guys through. And voila. Pop those off. Oh, they're all stuck. Oh well. I guess that happens. Now I am going to put these back so I don't lose them. They're tiny. They could go flying away so easily. So we're going to pop those back in place. I'm going to just, flying hearts. All right, get those off my board. I'm not going to put that too far away because I'm going to need that again. That can go to the side though. And we're going to do a little bit of fussy work here. So I'm going to grab one of my glue sticks. You don't have to use a glue stick. You could totally use a mini glue dot or really anything. I'm going to put the tiniest little dots of glue in the center of those little white hearts. And then I am going to grab my Take Your Pick tool, that putty end. Oh, that's pretty dried out, so I'm just going to pull that away so we get a fresh end. Okay, there we go. So we have a fresh end, and I'm going to pick up these little hearts and put them down on those little dots of glue. Oh, flip over. There we go. So this is the easiest way to place stuff like this, is using this little putty piece. Oh, come on. There. All right, so we have 3 little hearts attached to his little belly now, and he looks just that much cuter. And then we're going to take one of these hearts and we're going to put it in his hand. Okay, so I think for this one I will use a mini glue dot. It's just going to be a faster way to stick it on. So I'm going to take the side that I know is going to stick to him and put it right on top of my mini glue dot and then peel that off the paper. That way I'm not even touching the sticky stuff. And let's see, if I put him like that, I think I want the heart in his hand like that. Oops, I just bent the heart. That's not good. Okay. All right, now he's going to go onto our circle with a dimensional. I don't want him being super flat there. So I'm going to grab some dimensionals and pop them on the back of him. Now I do want to make sure, like I'm only doing the one arm, maybe the belly and the head, because the rest of him is going to be off of the circle. And so no point. Okay, so I'm just doing 3. That's going to hold him secure enough. And then I'm going to take a look. I want him kind of on an angle, but the sending shear is going to be straight. There we go. And then this is going to go onto our card front, making sure that the lettering stays straight. And I'm going to put dimensionals behind here. So I'm going to dimensional my circle. And then I am going to dimensional one of his legs. But because the circle also has dimensionals, I don't want his leg looking like it's being bent down. So I'm double dimensionaling it. I put a dimensional on the back of my dimensional. Janine, if you are watching the replay later, yes, I have done it again. I found a way to use even more dimensionals. All right, so we're going to take that whole piece. We're going to find where we like it the most, maybe centered. No, I think I want it off to the side. Off to the side is good. Okay, off to the side. There we go. And then if you're feeling super duper fancy, we can finish this one off with a little bit of bling. You could have also gotten fancy and put a ribbon on here, but I am running low on Christmassy ribbons, so that's not a thing today. I am running low on everything. I am waiting on a few orders, and when they arrive, oh, it will be like, well, it will be Christmas probably by the time they arrive. So I'm going to grab some of my favorite embellishments, which are flat sequins, and I keep all my sequins together. So I am looking for these lovely guys. They're kind of my neutrals. Well, they are neutrals, I think. But for this card, I'm actually going to use the white ones because they're going to add a little bit of shine without popping and taking away from like my little red bits of my hearts and all that. And actually, yeah, maybe they're up off the circle. All right, so we have just a little bit of bling on there. And that's our first quick card that I must admit, I made it a little bit less quick than it could have been. You could make this super fast. And what's great about this design is you can do this with any image, any sentiment, any DSP, any colors for any holiday. So I'm going to do two more using things from this Sending Cheer set and the Walk in the Park Designer Series paper. The next one that I'm going to do, I did the same thing. I just cut it horizontally instead, but it's still 3x4, so you get 12 out of a DSP. Is I used, and you could also use just the gorgeous snowflakes, but I love the trees, so I use the trees. This is Balmy Blue with Pretty Peacock, so I'm layering it onto Pretty Peacock. Here we go. So I'm going to do that. And then I had a tough time deciding what to put on this one, but I think in the end I've decided we're going to do a stocking. And now let's see. Yeah, and we're going to glue this one straight down as well. All right. So this is getting glued straight to our card front. But now I'm using a piece of basic white that was cut in that hamburger cut. So we open long ways like that. All right. So we've got that done. And now we get to have some fun creating what's going onto our card. So just like the last one, I am going to have one of those little circles. I'm going to clean up my Sending Cheer though, because instead of stamping in Cherry Cobbler, I am going to stamp this in Pretty Peacock. But I am stamping it pretty much in the same space. Sending Cheer, and there we go. And then before I do anything else, I'm also going to grab, there, these little tiny snowflakes, and I'm going to stamp them in Balmy Blue on my little circle as well. Okay, so like that. And I'm just kind of like doing a little switch back, like do them one way, do them the other. There we go. And I actually don't need to do the rest because that's going to get covered up. So we've got our cute little label done here with our Sending Cheer. And then I am going to, this would look cute with the gingerbread as well. Oh my gosh, but I'm not. We're gonna switch it up. I am going to grab a piece. I'm just gonna grab my dies and make sure that's big enough. It is excellent. I'm going to do a stocking. So we have the sweetest little stocking in our kit. Now I can't decide, do I want it red or do I want to keep this monochromatic? Ooh. Okay, I have a red one made. No, I'm going to keep it monochromatic. We're going to do the sweetest little baby stocking. So I do need to clean my stamp because I know it has red on it. That's been kind of my go-to color for my stockings. But no, we're doing this in balmy blue. We're going to have the sweetest little balmy blue stocking. And so we're going to stamp our balmy blue stocking onto our white paper. Just like that. And then we are going to die cut this, but I'm going to die cut a couple of extra pieces as we go because I am going to turn this into a little bit of a 3D piece, and we're also going to add the toe and heel of our stocking. So let me just grab another little scrap and I'm going to pop that on there. So I am going to put the top of our stocking, and then they have the sweetest little stitched pieces here for the toe and the heel. So I'm going to grab those as well if they'll cooperate. Oh, it's one piece. Cool. I haven't used it yet, so we're going to do all of this at once. Uh-oh. We're going to try not to throw that off. There we go. All right, I'm going to pull this out a little bit more to put that down. There. And then we're going to run it through. All right. So we've got those pieces to run right through. And now we're going to pull them apart. And so again, you've got that sweet little hole there so that you could turn this into a gift tag. And that I can save. Those pieces we're going to put off to the side. There we go. All right, so I'll just show you what one of those gift tags could look like. So I've got my sweet little red stocking stamped here. And then on the back, we're just going to take our to and from. I'm going to do mine, actually I'm going to do mine in cherry cobbler. And just like that on the back. So a little to and from, and then we can sneak a little name in there, tie this onto a gift, and we have a sweet little gift tag. These are really quick and easy to make. So that's nice and handy. But we're going to deal with our beautiful little baby blue one right now. I'm just going to put those dies away so I don't lose them. So I have got a piece here that can go across the top, and I'm actually going to put that on with dimensionals so that it pops up and gives our stocking just a tiny little 3D look. Makes it just a little fluffy. Once upon a time I had like fuzzy paper. You could even use that, like the velvet white, and that would make a really cool look on this stocking as well. And then we've got our little toes. So just like I did for the heart buttons, I am going to come in here. You could use mini glue dots for this as well, but I'm going to use liquid glue. Oh my, or maybe I'm not. Oh yeah, there we go. So I'm going to put a bit across the toe and a bit across the heel, not too much. And then I'm going to get my take your pick tool, and I'm going to pick that up. Oops. And place that, oh, come on. And place that on the heel. And the toe of my stocking. Isn't that just the nicest little extra touch to these? Like, I don't know. It just makes the stocking so much cuter. And then we're going to take this piece. Oh, I should put that die away. We're going to take this little piece. We're going to attach it to our sending cheer circle, and then attach this to our card front. Now, I thought I didn't need more snowflakes, but I'm going to actually add a few more now that I'm looking at that and how it's going to get placed. And I like that this star is kind of like the reverse of the pattern that's on the stocking. There we go. And actually, so you could space these out more if you wanted, however you would like it done. So now I'm going to take a look at that again. Yeah, there we go. All right, and I like to use up all of my dimensionals, so I just go around and cut up the edging, and then we can use these as well. All right. So I usually just pre-cut the whole edging, and then they're ready to go for every time I want to use them now. So we're going to grab these, pop that on there. So that one for sure, and then probably just a little skinny piece here. So we don't want a ton there. And then we're going to do that double dimensional thing again once we get this on. So I like it like that. Now we're going to flip this over and put a piece here and put another one on top, and then do all my edging. The nice thing about the dimensionals is it doesn't matter what they look on this side, like what shape they are, because nobody's going to see them. Okay, and we're going to take this piece and decide where to put it. I do want to make sure I'm keeping, I think we're going to do maybe like that. I'm going to keep that sending cheer straight. Okay. So there we go. We've got our sending cheer, our cute little stocking on there. And then for this one, I am actually going to grab the other set of sequins that I have here, because it's got the pretty peacock. I want to incorporate that. So, oh, this set only has large ones. Huh. Okay. Apparently I've been using up all my little ones. Here we go. Let's set some little ones. Okay. So let's see here. I'm going to come in and actually write like that. And I'm going to keep these on my little sentiment piece this time, just because we already have the darkness over, and actually I don't like how that ended up. I'm going to move those around. I'm going to do 2 at the top, and this is why I'm using up all the small ones. With this so dark, I don't really like putting a big dark one. There we go. All right, so we've got our pretty peacock bling on there, and that is our second card done. And now we've got our last card. So again, this is a Walk in the Forest 12 by 12 DSP. We've got 2 beautiful patterns. I really like this pretty peacock side though. And there's my glue. This time, however, I am going to put this on to my cardstock, and I'm not going to glue it to my card base just yet. The image I'm going to be using is quite a bit smaller than the images I've used on the last 2 cards. So I want to add in a little piece here by adding some elegant trim. So it's a 2-pack. It comes in gold and silver. And so I'm going to tie a gold one around this first before I do anything else. So here we go. We're going to bring this in, and I'm just going to wrap this around. and cut a little piece. There we go. And I'm going to tie a bow. Now, I'm not really going to fuss about where my bow is right now because I'm going to probably end up moving it around left to right and up and down once I get my sentiment and my image stamped. But for now, I'm going to tie that knot and then tie my bow and get my bow into a shape and size that I kind of like. Not going to trim the ends yet either, because I'm going to wait to see how it all lays out before I decide how long I want those tails to be. Okay, so there's our little bow, but I'm not doing anything to kind of place him or secure him anywhere yet. We're just going to leave that bow just like that and put it off to the side. Now I'm going to grab another white circle just like I have on the last two cards. Should have done this one second, then I wouldn't have to clean, but that's okay. I'm going to clean up my sending cheer, and I'm going to stamp it again in Cherry Cobbler like I did on my first card. So if you're making a bunch of these, you can save so much time by just stamping all these circles. Like grab your ink and just stamp your sending cheer. Like go wild, 24 of them. Okay, so we've got that done. Now I need a scrap paper again. So I'm going to take that one that I cut the stocking pieces out of, and I'm going to stamp some holly pieces. So you could use Pretty Peacock if you only had the two. I'm going to bring in Garden Green though, because that is the green in this designer series paper. And I'm going to make sure that that's going to stamp nicely. Oh, it's a little dry. Okay. That's okay. It's a beautiful color, and just really make sure. Apparently I should re-ink this one. I've been using it a lot this holiday season. So there we go. We've got our Garden Green holly, and then we're going to get Cherry Cobbler and stamp our berries. Now the die for this, let's just grab the die, and I'm going to just double check how it cuts it. Does it cut it as one whole piece or separately? Okay, separately. So leaves are one and berries are the other. Good. So I'm going to stamp my berries separate from my leaves, and voila. I might end up doing another set. We'll see how this looks on the tag once we get it done. So let's run these through the machine. There. So grab the machine again, pop those down around our berries, around our leaves. And there we go. Got those cut out. Put those away. Pop those off. Okay. There we go. And now I am going to do just that little bit of liquid glue again to put these together. Now you could totally use a mini glue dot, and that would work as well. There we go. And I'm going to stick these together like that. Okay, so with that done, I am going to pop that on there. Now I do think maybe I need something more. Oh, unless I tuck that under. Ooh, maybe we'll do that. Move our bow to the side and tuck this part way under. And I probably still need something more. Oh my gosh, I can't even pick it up. There we go. Sending cheer. Yeah, I think I'm going to make one more holly just to put on here. That's just going to fill in the space a little bit nicer. All right, so I probably have enough space on there to fit these in. So we're going to stamp one more set of leaves. The nice thing about working with dies is that you don't need to have it in a certain position on your page. As long as your page fits onto your machine and the die fits around it, you can squeeze things in and really use up your paper. Okay, set that to the side. Grab that again. And here we go. Okay. And that one. And that one. Perfect. Okay, so, come on. Oh my goodness, sometimes these go on so nicely, and sometimes I really struggle with them. Okay, those are done nicely. Perfect. Okay. So I'm not going to glue these ones together because I'm not entirely convinced I'm going to use the second set of berries. I might just use the second set of leaves. We'll see. So we're going to grab this. Got that. Actually, do I want it? I might actually want it to go over top. There we go. Like that. And then I might just want more greenery. You might just want to cut one of those off and have just 3 leaves. Oh yeah, there we go. We're going to put it on like that, so it's just 3 little leaves. We're not going to use that extra piece that we did, and I like how that is looking now. So to put these guys together, I'm going to actually grab some mini glue dots, or not glue dots, mini dimensionals. Oh, those are not mini. Oh my goodness. Where'd my mini ones go? There they are. All right. I'm going to grab some mini dimensionals, and I am going to put one right where my holly leaves meet my berries. And I'm going to put another one on this leaf that's kind of going to overlap that leaf. Okay. I am going to peel both of those off now. And I'm going to put this down over top so we can still kind of see that other one underneath, but it's not a big deal. All right, now we're going to put one more mini dimensional on this leaf that's showing, and we're going to use some liquid glue on the remaining leaves. I don't want to pop them up even more, so I'm just putting a little dab of liquid glue right there. And then this is going to go onto our card front. Okay, so we've got the sweetest little sending cheer here. We're going to add some bling to this in a moment. But first of all, we're going to add this. I'm now happy with where that bow is off to the side. And we're going to put this onto our card front, and we're going to use dimensionals to do that. So here we go. Got these. Now I always do my 4 corners, but then I do like to go back in and do a couple in the center as well. And so this is going to go onto our card front, centered again, just like we've been doing with the other ones. Just like that. And then this guy is also going to go on with dimensionals. So here we go. This time we just need 3 though. There's really not much sticking off the edge. There we go. Grab those. Pop this on. Now I want it going on so that the bow is not covering my words, and so that the words are straight and the circle is coming off the front of that piece just a little bit. Now I can trim up my ribbon. Get a nice little angle there, like that. And the final thing to do on this card is to add some bling. So I'm going to go back to that original pack of neutrals that I was using, and I'm going to put some gold bling in here. And just like that. And that kind of finishes it off. All right, so I'm going to bring back the other cards. So we've got the exact same layout for all 3 cards, just using different little bits from that Sending Cheer stamp set and dies. And again, these make the best little like gift tags as well, because the dies come with the little loops. There's even a Santa hat in here that comes with the little hole, so you can put the little fluffy pom-pom and bottom of your hat on, and then have that with a little hole in it already. Our gingerbread man, there's a rectangular label, there's some small little circles, so lots and lots of options for things that will have that loop in it so that you can create Christmas tags as well. So I hope you guys liked those. These are just a great way to use up some of your DSP, make a whole bunch of cards really quickly, and they're just super cute. I absolutely love this little gingerbread man. So yeah, that is it for today. It's not a card class to go this week, unfortunately. Just too many things with Christmas cards or Christmas concerts and stuff like that. I just won't be able to prep any packs to send out to anyone, so that won't be happening. But I hope that this was great inspiration for you. And if you've had your eye on those stamps and dies that you know now they're on sale and will be retiring, so you're going to want to grab them. I put a link in the description of the video if you wanted to purchase those. And as always, every month, with a $65 order, you get the Crafty Collaborations project tutorial from me this month for December. There's a mix of annual catalog product as well as some last minute Christmas stuff in there. And there's 37 projects in the tutorial. So definitely worth grabbing these stamps and dies, adding on some envelopes and cardstock, and getting that tutorial as well. So I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next Wednesday. Bye.